and we can justify many an evil against our neighbors when we view them as disgusting. Hey everyone, welcome to Bold Reflections. My name is Jasmine, and today I am finally back after a couple of weeks off for rest, rejuvenation, and reflection. And one of the things that I've reflected on upon hearing the rumors of COVID coming back and lockdowns and masks, is I wanted to go back in time. So I found this article, and I'm having a lot of technical issues. So if my camera starts kind of like freaking out like it just did, I don't know why this is happening. I don't get it. First it was my mic, now it's my camera, then it was my headphones. I don't know, but whatever. You ain't worried about that. Let me show you these crazy pictures that I found, and this is real life. This is real life, and this could be our future again. So check this out. This comes from Not the Bee, and if you are familiar with Babylon Bee, you know that they are a satirical website, and Not the Bee is non-satirical. Alright, now that we're all following. This is real life. It's not satire. It says here, we humans have short memories and a tendency to block out trauma, so you might not remember Santa getting arrested for not wearing a mask. No, really, that's an actual thing that happened. But we'll get to it in a sec. First, here's the prompt that kicked off the insanity you're about to witness. So Professor Freedom on X, had this tweet here. What's your favorite COVID madness pic or video? I'll start with mine. Please retweet. Thanks. And as you can see, this was a thing. Everybody standing back to back in perfect little squares with caution tape and being treated like children. Put your nose in the corner, Johnny. Insanity. I will not do this. COVID solved. Right. The article says, see, I told you we'd circle back like Jen Psaki to Santa Claus. Imagine trying to explain that to someone in 100 years. Right. Unless they are way worse than us. If your great-grandpa pulled out a dusty old photo book of German police pointing a gun at Santa in the 1930s, you'd be so clueless. That's how your great-grandkids are going to feel. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The world went full Dark Lord Sauron in its COVID response. And yes, we did. Look at this very bright individual. I was about to say something not very nice. But it says this is the person calling you a conspiracy theorist. Did anybody have to do this? The bubble thing? Did anybody have to do the bubble thing? Whoever made this contraption and sold it and marketed it, genius level. Capitalize on people's fears. It's what the media does. So why not you? Entrepreneurs in the chat, listen. Here we have, woman cuts a hole in coronavirus face mask to make it easier to breathe. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm proud to say that I simply ignored this bullcrap several times and no one ever complained. Don't touch the toys, they have COVID all over them, guys. Alright, how about this insanity from San Francisco in 2020? Police cadets throwing masks at socially distanced folks in Dolores Park. Casual outside transmission, of course, was never a thing. Future generations won't believe this is real, but sadly it was. Yeah, it makes me sick because it's like the damage we have done to people's minds. First of all, we melted them into jelly. Like, people don't think, and people are uneducated about how viruses work, how masks work. It just the spirit of fear is something that it's like a mass psychosis. And I fear that we're going into it again. Oh, don't fear, Jasmine. No spirit of fear in here. The government's totally not gonna do this, and the people are totally not gonna fall for it. That's fear talking. No, but seriously, just insanity. Um, yeah, oh yeah, the don't use the one in the middle. That was fun. Then you'd have people in doctors' waiting rooms just like standing around, running out of room because you can't sit next to the person next to you. I think men already do this anyway, don't they? Like they don't want to be nut to nut, so they'll skip a urinal and that a thing. I don't know. I'm not a trans. Okay, I know I said it would be all screenshots, but I lied and said this video has to be seen. Okay, so there's not going to be any sound here. Oh, wow. Yeah, how did you think that was gonna go? I'm assuming they're spraying alcohol on the motorcycle because it might have COVID on it. Oh my god, they're so stupid. God's people. Why? Why are you like this? Okay. Wow. Alright, so this is Dole Plantation, Hawaii. The whole snack bar was overkill wrapped in yellow caution tape. Can't drink drinks, guys. You might kill grandma that way. Here we have too many to post and so agonizing to review. Some are obvious in their absurdity. The masked saxophonist. The masked saxophonist. That is hard to say. Say that 3 times. Pause the video. Say the masked saxophonist 3 times really fast. Others, like the empty airports, are haunting and eerie. Yes, and like the ones of like New York City, just completely empty, boarded up. It looked like a zombie movie. And people were thinking like zombies. Like, wake up, guys. I never fell for it, honestly. And I know that sounds like a flex. But back in the day, I was like, no, I'm not doing it. Hard time for every musician. Oh my gosh. Parents need to keep distance from their children. Okay, so this parents locking their kids in their rooms so that the rest of the family couldn't catch COVID. Oh, that was a rough one. I feel a kind of way about it, guys. Like if we gonna get sick, we gonna get sick together. I'm not gonna isolate my kid. I'm not going to treat him like he's a toxic particle. He's my human child and absolutely not gonna happen ever. But people did this and it's no wonder. It's no wonder why kids are probably psychologically, actually they are, not probably, they are psychologically damaged from this whole thing. We sacrificed the health of the children, the mental health of the children, the psychological well-being of our kids and teenagers for the well-being of adults because they were fearful. And of course you get the adults to be fearful, then you'll also get the kids to be fearful. But it's absurd. And not only the psychological well-being, but also the academic progress. Many a teacher will tell you that most of the kids fell extremely behind in their academics and we're still playing catch up. So, uh, are you willing to risk it again? Because it might be happening again. How much more will we be putting our children behind? All right. Then we have this bench. Of course, we saw a lot of that. You can't even be outside. You got to be in your room cooped up. Even though vitamin D is extremely effective in combating illness. But we're all about the science, y'all. We're all about the science. Another bench in the middle of nowhere. Can't sit there. All right, so this one requires an explanation because it's in German. It's a store that says unvaccinated not welcome. Using the same word the Germans used to keep Jews out of stores. Whoa. Wow. That should tell you everything you need to know. Like, that is the real story behind what happened. The division. If you think, and I've said this before, if you think that we are anything different from Germany circa 1930s, 1940s, and the way that they treated the Jews, listen, I get it, right? We're not gassing people yet. But that same division, and what I'm about to say is what Gina Carano got fired for with Disney, because she said something like this. That spirit of division, where the government can get you to look at your neighbor as if they are disgusting, they are other, and therefore they're not welcome here. That is what led to the horrors that we saw in that era. I don't know that it'll happen now, but the spirit is the same. So Americans, actually not just Americans, obviously this was Germans, and all over the world. We are not any different. It's the human factor that causes this. It's the ability to be manipulated by a government, and to then they capitalize on the wickedness that is already in our hearts, and we turn that towards our fellow neighbor, and we can justify many an evil against our neighbors when we view them as disgusting or unwelcome in our spaces. All right, now for the really good stuff, starting with Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Never forget. Oh my God, what an idiot. Oh, she's so dumb. And anyone who voted for her, you are also so dumb. These are the people who run our government. These are the people who run the cities. If you're living in a liberal city, oh my God, do not comply. Because these are the people who are doing it to you. People like this lady who are in it 100% for themselves, to the point where they mock you. She is mocking people right now. These are the people who are going to do this again. Look, I don't know if it's going to look the same. History doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme. Are you willing to put your children's well-being in the hands of this idiot, or people like this idiot? Are you willing to give up your livelihood for people like this idiot? Are you willing to risk your health for yet another thingy for people like that? I'm not. I wasn't the first time, and I'm not going to do it again. It's just insanity. Oh, wow. Look at this. Look at this right here. I'd be going to a different church. Nope. We're quitting the whole denomination. What is this? Spraying them with a water gun? With a water gun, bro? Why? Oh my gosh, it's so cringy. At least the church was open, though. Oh, okay, so this was a bar. Oh my God. They are not 6 feet apart, though. And what if the particles, like, they go up through the bubbles of the froth of the beer over the wall into the cup of the next person, that they then drink it? This totally unsafe. This is completely absurd. This right here is not just absurd, but it's genuinely evil. I see evil in this. We robbed children of their childhood as a nation, okay? I'm not saying I did, because like I said, I did not fall for this nonsense. And the area I live in was not like this. There was masking, and I think lockdowns before I got here, before I moved to this area. I live in a red state, in a deep red state. So, like, there's no mistaking. We are probably known for our redness. So, none of this. But, like, when I see this, it makes me genuinely angry. And like I mentioned before, the level of burden that we've placed on the generation that couldn't use their swings because of our fears as adults, it makes me very uneasy how these kids might turn out, because the millennial generation came out a little crazy. So I can't imagine. I think they're Generation Alpha. I think that's what my kid's generation is, Generation Alpha. We're in for it, guys. And we have no one to blame but ourselves. So, but then again, maybe because they had this kind of upbringing, maybe there's hope in them. But maybe not. All right, here we go. A KN95 with a custom nose window that my ENT made me wear. Oh my gosh. Why? But why though? Bro, we are ridiculous. And and these are the same people who are like, the science though. I reject God because I believe in science. Same people. Same people. Let that sink in. Oh, what is this monstrosity over here? What is this supposed to be? It's PVC pipe with electrical tape, it looks like, on a rain jacket. What? Why? What are you doing? I don't get the tubes. What are the tubes about? To keep people like distance from you because you gotta not get poked by a tube? Oh my gosh. I think genuinely, I think it is. It's like forcefully pushing his space that no one can come in without, like the personal bubble around him. Oh, and to top it off, he's got rain boots. See them rain boots? Don't want to get COVID on your feet. How about the people who were like disinfecting their groceries? Why? If you ever disinfected your groceries, guys, listen, I get it, right? It was scary. It was scary because the government is ridiculous and people lie and the media lies. But this is why it's so important to not fall into an echo chamber, because there were a lot of people at the time who were saying, people, you don't need to disinfect your groceries, okay? They're lying to you. They're trying to manipulate you. There were people back then saying it. There's people now saying it. Don't be one of the ones who gets featured on a tweet thread like this. Don't do it. It's embarrassing. Adapt, improvise, overcome. Oh my god. That's embarrassing. You should be embarrassed. The goalposts at an empty football game. It's so crazy. Why? What are you doing? What are you doing? And how much sicker did we make kids? How much sicker did we make people? Because, especially, like I said, especially kids, because when they're young like that, that is the time that they most develop their immune system. And look, the way that my mind goes, if you over sanitize everything, I think they end up getting sicker because that immunity gets suppressed. I don't know if there's any scientists. Does that sound right? Because it sounds right to me. Well, I'm not saying live in filth, but this, you know what I mean? You can't touch the boxes. Just everything. Everything is stupid. Oh, I remember this picture. You cannot tell me that these teenagers did not get psychologically effed up over this. You can't tell me that. Why, bro? And the teacher was probably out here like, make sure your zippers are closed. And then between classes, probably wiping down the inside, making sure. It's just crazy. Damn. She's probably in her head like, this is so stupid. I hate humanity. Look at her. Look at that face. She's like, this ain't it, fam. I'm gonna do everything I can to not get in trouble. I got my mask on. Wow. This is the modern day dunce cap right here. More bubbles. Hiking in the woods. More water jugs. Oh my god. What is this? One guy was avoiding lockdown by walking alone in the beach. Police landed helicopter to catch him. Wow. Wow. That's how serious the lockdowns got in some places. I don't think this was in the US, but it could have been. Maybe Australia, right? I mean, come on. If you heard the stories out of Australia, wow. They filled it with sand so that people wouldn't come out here and skate. Oh, and this was probably taxpayer funded, by the way. Alright, this video is getting real long. Look at this idiot. Oh my gosh. You guys look so stupid. They look so stupid. Look, I don't know what these people do, but the way they're dressed, they make me think that they're part of the ones who believed in it. Okay, that's not fair, but it is. Italy on the beach. Yep, more tyranny. More tyranny. Look at this. Oh my god, dude. This is dehumanizing. This looks like this is an English speaking country right here. Look at this. Congratulations to all the 99.99% of us that survived COVID. We now have to carry the memories of the stupidest years in history around in our heads. I just hope that it doesn't happen again. I hope that none of this happens again, because this is embarrassing. That is all I have for today, you guys. I know this was kind of all over the place, and I'm sorry if I had any technical flashy things going on with the camera, but if you like this content, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check out So This Is the World Christian podcast. Link in the description. If you like this content, you'll like that content too. All right, you guys, that is all I have for you today, and as always, God bless.